Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're talking about something you can't really see, something you can't just pinch, but it's one of the biggest threats to your long-term health. We're talking about visceral fat.
Yeah. It's not the fat just under your skin. This is the stuff that's metabolically active, the dangerous layer wrapped around your liver, your pancreas, your intestines.
The silent enemy, I've heard it called that.
It really is. It's not just about how you look. It's the root cause of metabolic syndrome. I mean, it links directly to type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. The science is pretty clear on this.
And I'm sure if you're listening, you've probably tried a dozen different things. Complicated diets, expensive supplements, all trying to target this one type of fat.
With probably limited success.
Right. But what if one of the most effective tools was already sitting in your kitchen? Something, cheap, easy to find, and actually backed by some surprising science.
And that's what we're diving into today. Apple cider vinegar, or ACV. Our whole mission here is to get past the hype and look at the actual clinical evidence.
So we're going to look at how it can affect visceral fat, waist size, and I think this is the most critical part, how to use it safely. What are the steps? What are the red flags you absolutely need to know?
Exactly. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is ACV?
It's actually pretty simple. It starts with apples, water, and yeast. The yeast ferments the sugar into alcohol, and then a second step happens. Specific bacteria turn that alcohol into the real powerhouse molecule.
And that molecule is?
Acetic acid. That is the key active ingredient. It's only about, say, 5 to 6% of the ACV, but it's what drives all the benefits and, as we'll see, all the risks.
And what about the mother? You see that on the labels of the unpasteurized stuff, that cloudy bit at the bottom?
Right, the mother. That's just a network of proteins, enzymes, and some beneficial bacteria. It might offer some extra gut health support, which we can touch on later.
Okay, so let's get to the proof, the hard numbers. Our sources point to a pretty recent study from 2024 on overweight young adults. What did they find after 12 weeks of taking ACV?
The results were tangible. We're talking about people taking just 15 milliliters a day. That's about 1 tablespoon.
Just 1 tablespoon.
Yep. And they saw an average reduction of 3.4 centimeters in their waist circumference.
Wow. And what about body fat?
They also tracked a drop of nearly 2% in overall body fat percentage. So measurable, significant changes.
Now, a 3.4 centimeter drop in waist size is pretty noticeable. But how do we know it's hitting that dangerous visceral fat specifically and not just the fat under the skin?
That's a great question, and it's a valid one. The best studies use things like body composition scans to differentiate, but waist circumference itself is a very, very strong proxy for visceral fat.
So a smaller waist usually means less of that internal fat.
Almost always. And when we look at how it works, the mechanisms themselves strongly suggest it's targeting those metabolic pathways that build up visceral fat.
Okay, so let's dive into that. How does this acetic acid actually work? What's it doing inside the body?
It pulls on 3 main levers. The first one is about activating the sort of master switch for energy in your cells. It's called AMPK.
AMPK.
You can think of it like this. Turning on AMPK is like telling your body, okay, stop storing fat and start burning the fat we already have for fuel. It actually speeds up the breakdown of fats.
So it's not just blocking fat, it's actively telling your body to use what's there.
Precisely. The second lever is satiety, feeling full.
Cool.
ACV slows down what's called gastric emptying. It literally just slows the rate that food leaves your stomach.
Which means you feel fuller for longer after you eat.
Exactly. And that often leads to a natural kind of subconscious reduction in how many calories you eat all day. You're just not as hungry.
And the third mechanism is all about blood sugar, right? Which is so tied to visceral fat.
Absolutely. Visceral fat loves high insulin levels. ACV helps by improving your insulin sensitivity. So it helps your cells use glucose from your food more efficiently, which means you get lower blood glucose and insulin spikes after a meal.
So the science is solid. It's not magic, but it works through clear pathways. But this brings us to the most important part of the conversation. The danger isn't that it doesn't work.
The danger is that people use it improperly. This next part is non-negotiable.
Let's get into safe usage, because this is where the mistakes happen.
Yeah.
What is rule number 1?
Rule number 1, and you cannot forget this, is always dilute. Always. You never, ever drink ACV straight. It is highly acidic. It's corrosive.
I can personally attest to that being a very unpleasant experience, so what's the right ratio?
The standard safe method is to mix your dose 1 to 2 tablespoons, max, in a full cup of water. That's about 8 ounces or 250 milliliters.
And let's be clear on that dosage. What is the absolute daily maximum?
The absolute limit is 1 to 2 tablespoons total for the entire day. Going over that just dramatically increases your risk of side effects.
What about timing? I've heard some people take it in the morning, some at night. Doesn't matter?
It does, a little. Taking it in the morning might give you a bit of a metabolism boost, but some people feel nauseous taking it on an empty stomach. So you have to listen to your body.
And at bedtime?
Taking it at night can help regulate your waking blood sugar levels, but there's a huge safety precaution here.
Which is?
Do not drink it and then immediately lie down. You have to wait at least 2 to 3 hours before bed.
To avoid acid reflux.
Exactly. If you lie down too soon, that acid can come back up and irritate your esophagus. Not good.
Let's talk about teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Because acid erosion is permanent. What's the protocol to protect your enamel?
It's a 3-step process. First, use a straw. It helps bypass your teeth.
Okay, simple enough.
Second, as soon as you're done, rinse your mouth with plain water. Just swish and spit to wash away the acid.
And the third step is the one that feels counterintuitive.
It really does, but it's vital. You must wait 30 minutes before you brush your teeth.
Why? I think you'd want to brush the acid off right away.
The acid temporarily softens your tooth enamel. If you brush it while it's in that soft, vulnerable state, you're actually scrubbing the enamel away. You have to give your saliva time to neutralize the acid first.
That makes perfect sense. So we've covered the external risks. Now we need to get into the really serious internal risks, especially when ACV meets prescription medication. Let's talk about the red flags.
Right, because this is where the risks go from, just digestive upset to being potentially life-threatening.
Okay, so let's start with the big one. Diabetes medications.
This is a major, major red flag. If you are taking anything like insulin or metformin or any drug designed to lower your blood sugar, you have to be extremely careful.
Because ACV also lowers blood sugar.
Exactly. You're stacking one effect on top of another. You create a serious risk of hypoglycemia that's dangerously low blood sugar. It can cause dizziness, confusion, even passing out. It's a medical emergency.
So you absolutely must talk to your doctor.
It's not optional. It's mandatory.
What's the second big category of medication to worry about?
Diuretics, often called water pills. They're usually prescribed for high blood pressure.
Okay, and what's the interaction there?
Well, many diuretics already cause your body to lose potassium. ACV might have a similar mild effect. If you combine them, you risk a dangerous drop in your potassium levels.
And low potassium is bad.
Very bad. It's critical for muscle and heart function. The warning signs are things like severe muscle weakness or cramping, and this is the most critical one, abnormal heart rhythms.
And if you experience that,
you seek medical attention immediately.
So let's put it all together. The science is there, the results are tangible, but the precautions are absolutely crucial. What's the final verdict?
The verdict is that ACV is not a miracle drug. It's a supportive supplement, a tool.
And the science confirms it can lead to modest, but, noticeable reductions in weight and body fat.
It does. But the experts are all clear on one thing. The best, most lasting results only happen when you combine it with a healthy diet and regular exercise. It's a helper, not the whole solution.
So to leave everyone with the key takeaways, the 4 rules for using ACV safely.
1, dilute. Always. 1 to 2 tablespoons in a big glass of water.
2, limit. Do not go over 2 tablespoons a day, total.
3, protect your teeth. Use a straw, rinse with water after, and wait 30 minutes before brushing.
And 4, the most important.
Consult your doctor, especially if you take any medications, particularly for diabetes or blood pressure, or if you have any existing health conditions.
Great. And to leave everyone with a final thought to mull over, we mentioned the mother earlier, the raw, unpasteurized ACV.
Right, the stuff with potential probiotics. And acetic acid itself can act as a prebiotic, meaning it feeds the good bacteria already in your gut.
So that raises a really interesting question.
It does. Maybe the benefits we're seeing, the better blood sugar, the fat loss, aren't just from the direct action of the acid. What if a big part of it is ACV's role in supporting a healthier gut microbiome?
So the connection between gut health and that dangerous visceral fat could be even deeper than we think.
Exactly. The overall benefits might go far beyond just simple weight reduction. It's about a healthier system overall.
Something to really think about. Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.